Okay. Okay. Hello, dear Francesca. It is so nice to have you with us today. I welcome you from our ISCA board. We are so happy to have you in this first interview for our opening gathering conference with you. We want to thank you extensively for taking this invitation, as you have been working in communities for a long time, and your view in belonging is very important for us. Francesca, you are an international facilitator, well recognized. You have given a lot to the field of constellations, creating circles, trainings, writing books, and supporting different associations as NASC, as ISCA, as the African Constellation gatherings. And it's an honor for us to have you here today and share with us your topic and your vision and the purpose you have on the workshop you are going to share with ISCA next year on April 14th to the 20th on our online gathering. So welcome, Francesca.
Well, thank you so much, Alexandra. I really appreciate your time and your heart and the openness of ISCA to really be so flexible and to be creative and find a way that we can gather um, in this really interesting time. So I thank you for this. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I would like to ask you, okay, I would like to ask you to mention the topic of your workshop, which is called, do you want me to mention it or do you want to say it to us?
I'm so happy because it's really I hope that many people can relate to it as one of the really big gifts in systems constellation work, but also it's so much part of my heart, and it is looking at the roots of exclusion. Why do we exclude? What does that come from? What's the result? How do we suffer because of this impulse or this systemic loyalty that has us separate ourselves from each other? And what is so powerful about systems constellation is that it offers the opportunity for us to become inclusive. It really supports us to grow together. So the title of the workshop is The Roots of Exclusion, Becoming Inclusive and Growing Together. So I am very grateful to have opportunity to hopefully encourage people who are already really committed to this community and exploration and this wonderful perspective or paradigm that can really provide a lot of relief from so many things that we find difficult. Yeah. So I'm very happy about the workshop.
Yes. And how do you view this exclusion and inclusion situation as we are living today in this pandemic times? All this year has moved us very much in very many interior and systemic dynamics. How do you view the challenges we have today?
Right. So there is this beautiful understanding in systemic awareness that everything belongs, everything has a place. And what we're so fortunate to see whenever we do constellations, what we're so fortunate to be able to really understand when we look at things from a systemic perspective, we're able to understand that the system really has this impulse almost a biological impulse, or it's part of the essence of every system that it wants and needs for everything to have a place. So when things are not given a place or given a space, then there is a kind of tension. And in whatever way necessary, the system will try with everything it has to bring forward to the attention of the family or the person or the group, uh, there is something that is being pushed out or that has been pushed out. So I think that it's a painful, but also a very exciting time that it seems as though almost globally what we're encountering is the whole of this incredible natural system saying we have to look at each other and we have to see each other and we have to have a heart that is open to each other. So we have worldwide so many interesting ways in which there is this friction or this tension, and it's actually global. In some countries, it seems more accentuated or perhaps more tragic because there is greater difficulty to look at these separations. So, for instance, if you look at the special issues in the United States and perhaps in England with Brexit, there are places that historically have had a number of aspects of exclusion or a number of traumas that have not really been integrated, that have not really been honored. And so it's almost as though we're living in this very beautiful, challenging, inevitable time when all of us are really encouraged to look at the whole. And as much as we're conditioned, probably from uh, times that we have no way in our historical memory, because we're conditioned to protect space for our own, we really are challenged. But systems constellation has these amazing tools. Family constellation has this beautiful remembrance of how much it is already also in our bodies to include and to be connected and to be related and to understand that we need each other. So yeah, I think this time is so fortuitous, so perfect for the tools that all of the different aspects of systems constellation provides. What a miracle it would be if it went into the political systems. And in some places it does. So, but schools and families and health care facilities and systems, this is really a place where this wonderful nest that we've been building, it is so much in service for so many of the things that are happening right now. So I find this a very painful time for many people, challenging time, but also so hopeful, so hopeful. Yeah.
Thank you, Francesca. That is so true. And how do you feel it is a nice way or a facilitator's way to help people to come into the field and start working together with our diversity?
So I think that one of the things first that is helpful is for each of us, in a very gentle way, in a non judgmental way, to be able to do an inventory or to be able to do an honoring and inclusion of those exclusions that have been a part of our own family. So if I am able to recognize, and if I'm able to acknowledge in which ways different parts of my family stood in judgment or were exclusive, then I'm able really in a gentle way to have that beside me, to look at it, and not to have it interfere with someone that perhaps unconsciously I would otherwise exclude. But I think that with family constellations and systems constellations, one of the beautiful things is that we have the most gentle opportunity to really see, for me personally, as a facilitator or as a representative, where is the place in which I withdraw out of a conditioning, out of a loyalty to my own family system? And not to be judgmental about it, but to say it has a place. In my system, it had a place. And I can honor that that was a conditioning or a belief or a tradition in my family system. But I can also choose to be more inclusive. And what we love so much is that when I make that choice, I've actually expanded the whole of my system. Everyone's arms are open wider. So, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. That is totally true. And when we have to work with when we have to, that's not even a word.
But it's so perfect. It's so perfect, huh? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't, yeah. When we choose to walk into the field, sometimes one of the best gifts that we can have as facilitators or as representatives is also to open to a new experience from another circle, from another group that has been living in another situation different than ours. And that way we can start to find a completion in our soul of understanding. Do you want to share something of your
Oh,
experience on this?
I love that so much. What you're talking about is what I think it's not, I don't think it's overstating it to say that this is something that can change the world because it's what you speak about as a representative. When I stand in that place as a representative and I honestly know what it is like to be the other, it's fully embodied. So my whole body, it creates actually a body memory that may not be a part of my own field. So I think that specific thing that you're talking about, that um, expansion of my being that can happen when I stand as a representative, that really is it's a game changer because my own physical body and my body memory now has a piece of information that perhaps never existed in the whole of my family system. And that is now a part of my field, my family field, because I'm a part of that system. And so when I have this new experience and this new opening and this new um, willingness that comes from my body and my heart to really be able to honestly incorporate what you refer to as a new experience or a different experience, um, that really does change the world. It changes me. It changes my family system, and I can only think that the natural progression is that it changes the world. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that.
And I think this is one of the greatest opportunities and gifts we have when we prepare a gathering that has all these inclusion of facilitators from all over the world with their own experience, with their own perspective, uh, and also all of us open to experience something more in the field that will unite us, hopefully. So I wonder if this is also, I mean, a part of our evolution as humanity, working with this tool called family constellations.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, because um, when you speak about this coming together, it's one of the things that I think has really fascinated me and fascinated so many facilitators and participants. And it is this almost magnetic pull to participate, to actually um, arrive at a place where people are involved in this conversation about inclusion and belonging and connectedness. And anecdotally, some of the stories of how people have arrived, it defies reason. In one country, I was in a very remote area, very, very private. Someone lost their way and went miles down this dirt road and literally broke down at the venue, and definitely had no awareness of the event, and had every reason inside and out to participate and to be present. And I think when you speak with people, it's just so interesting and so heartening, so encouraging, the way that so many people are literally drawn to this place where the conversation and the system is really about expanding our understanding, expanding our capacity for inclusion, and and welcoming, allowing people, encouraging people, confirming for people, yes, we do belong together, because then we're able to have these conversations, what you allude to when you speak of coming from different countries, cultures. We really are able to have an exchange that brings us to a place that we could never go by ourselves or in our own communities. So I'm very heartened and very um, in love with what happens at conferences, intensives, where there, and even many workshops, where there is this sort of gathering, almost as though there are bigger hands that are really trying to find ways to bring all of these people together who have these different treasures that I may not have, and and also this willingness to share, which is huge, that there
Yeah.
is this willingness to share those treasures that are unique to that group or that system. Yeah.
Yeah, that is beautiful, Francesca. Thank you.
So
I think you really have opened the your heart and the your vision and the field to what we're going to walk with you at the gathering with your workshop. And I would like to leave it here because there it's a treasure
beautiful.
that will open next year.
I'm
So
looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you so much for all the work. It's a lot of work and the courage to try all these different internet systems, and all of us are sort of pioneers and trying to figure this out. And I thank you so much for being such a leader to bring that to all of us. Thank you for
yeah.
that.
Yes, well, that's a good thing of working in a team. We have many eyes to see different things
Beautiful,
and try them out and make something good for all. So, thank
beautiful.
you, Francesca. I would like to ask you, would you like to share with us a little bit about your experience with
It just froze for a second, but I froze at a good place.
Yeah. Okay. Could you
Um,
listen to the music?
I could just hear the last thing was, would you like to share with us?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Would you like to share with us a meditation that could be some of that we can use in a moment of introspection or in a moment of difficulty or just to go within?
I would love that. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah.
Thank you, Francesca, for offering.
So I would love for, as you listen, just allow yourself to become comfortable. Trust your body. What do you need right now? Do you need to stretch a little bit? Do you need stillness? Trust what serves you and what allows you to feel strength and peace in the place where you are. I would like for us to invite, and certainly you can trust yourself, do only what feels comfortable for you, but I welcome your invitation of all of the people you come from, your parents and grandparents. Allow your body to take a nice breath. Great grandparents. So many remarkable people that somehow, regardless of what happened or what did not happen, they were able to carry life forward. And here we are, not random, very intentional, very necessary, very precious. For a moment, I invite you to consider all of those people, all of those family systems who are really, in a very real and gentle way, drawn together for this understanding, for this field of inclusion. All of us who have this sense that there is a welcome, a very necessary and a very real welcome. Allow your body and your soul and your family system to be aware of that welcome for just a moment. This voice in the soul that says, you have a place. And all of those who are beside you, to the right, to the left, standing behind, all of those in this field who have this calling for a greater understanding and a greater participation in welcoming. Be aware that you're not alone, that there is this growing field of inclusion. And then perhaps you can notice that at a distance, there are many people who seem to be standing individually, and you can feel, you are aware of their sense of isolation. And I invite you to really fill yourself with this feeling of this field of welcome and belonging and inclusion. and in a very gentle way, not imposing, but with kindness, perhaps you can be aware of one of those people who is standing in isolation or feeling isolated. And just from your soul, allow them to know that they are part of a very large, beautiful system. They have family, they have ancestors, they belong. And as they become aware, perhaps it becomes more visible or they have a greater awareness that they are connected to someone, that they are not in isolation, they are not alone. Perhaps it's as though they're awakening, coming out of a fog of loneliness and isolation, and they can begin to see you. They can begin to see the welcome in your eyes, the welcome in your heart, and the welcome that actually now can come from the whole of your system. And then, even larger, they can become aware in a warm way, keeping whatever distance they need until they become acclimated. They become aware of this growing field, system, community that has this deep awareness. Everyone has a place. Every color, every culture, every country, every continent. Welcome. Take a nice breath. Allow yourself to feel your own very deep, grounded sense of belonging. And perhaps somewhere you feel just a very simple thank you. Thank you, Alexandra, and thank you to ISCA and to this amazing community.
Thank you. It is a beautiful moment we have shared, and we'll be looking forward to all the work and the necessary things we will have to do to come together in April. And hopefully, we will open a beautiful year with all these teachings and with this integration that you, as you shared right now. So, thank you, Francesca, and to all our viewers, members and non-members of ISCA. You can visit our gathering website. You can go to iscanetwork.org, and you can travel from there to our official site, to our membership site, and to our gathering site. So you can have an experience and feel free and invited to join us. Okay, so thank you. And I wish you and we wish you a beautiful Christmas and a beautiful Happy New Year with your loved ones.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Thank you. And the same for you.
Thank you, Francesca. Okay, see you soon.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.